Hello everyone, Rawdon Christie here, live with you for Refresh TV for the Renovation and Outdoor Living Show, episode 20 here on June the 12th, 2020. Sorry we're a couple of minutes late, just been testing some new technology, 20 episodes in, and we're beginning to get brave and bold and start playing around a wee bit. And so I'm trying to do this through, I've gone from laptop to phone. That's how far I'm stretching it today. It probably means that everything will go horribly wrong, but we'll see how we go. Anyway, lovely to see you all. Friday the 12th, as I mentioned. And here in New Zealand, at least, the final step towards a normal life in New Zealand, and that is people going to the rugby. Yes, Super Rugby Aotearoa kicking off this weekend. More than 50,000 going along to the two matches. Unbelievable, given that the Blues will struggle to get anyone to their games pre-COVID. But we, of course, will be far too busy this weekend in the world of renovation and landscaping. That's why we're all here together. We're not going to have time to watch rugby on Sunday afternoon. Now, Tuesday's show, if you remember, was all about outdoor lighting and security. That's because we've got the shortest day of the year, less than 2 weeks away. This is the time of the year when we wake up in the dark, we go to work, we come home in the dark. And as we discovered, more and more of us are trying to use our outdoor space year round. So we spoke to Rob Wilcox from Smart Life about how easy it is. These brilliant apps which they do, connecting all our Wi-Fi gadgetry to the one app, you know, from the blinds outside to the driveway lights, to the burglar alarm, to the CCTV. Plus you can control your barbecue, your sound system, your TV out in the garden, which apparently some people have nowadays. Absolutely brilliant piece of technology. And then we spoke to Barry Slutis from the Garden Lighting Company, and he opened our eyes to the amazing potential that lighting design has to make our outdoor spaces so amazing, so much more genuine where we want to spend the winter months. You know, long gone are the days of the big spotlights with a fixed timer stuck on the side of the house, you know, that go on every time a cat walks through. And now it's all about lighting up with the natural features around you, subtle lighting, which makes you feel comfortable and warm in the garden. So to today's theme. Well, today we're going to be talking about, well, the theme is from the ground up. And our first guest is a specialist in wooden flooring. Let's start at the ground with the flooring. Now, Andrea Bothner has been working for the Wooden Floor Company over 22 years. And with that sort of experience comes a wealth of knowledge on every aspect of products and of jobs. And I'm hoping that Andrea can join us now from the company's newly renovated showroom in Mount Roscoe, or at least, Andrea, a back office behind the showroom. How are you?
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Good, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thanks. So you've just renovated yourselves. I presume, therefore, you have an amazing wooden floor in your showroom, I would hope.
We have our whole range down. Basically, everything we carry in stock, we have down in very large areas on the floor so people can see them and get a really good look at the colours and the grains, and it's very good.
That also makes a lot of difference from, I guess, from a more traditional way of sort of, I don't know, going through a filing cabinet where you get tiny little glimpses and you don't actually see it in situ. So when it comes to the Wooden Floor Company, we're talking genuine, all these products, this is genuine wood, is it?
Yes, absolutely. They're all engineered wood floors, and they all come pre-finished with all the polyurethane on them, and they all come with a manufacturer's 30-year guarantee.
So what sort of a range? I mean, tell me a little bit about the range. I mean, I presume we're not talking like 2 or 3 different products here.
No, we have 2 brands that we sell. We sell the Kiers brand from Sweden and the Europlank brand from Cambodia, and there's a wide range in both of them. Especially Kiers from Sweden, they have an incredibly wide range of floors and colours and timbers. They're extremely environmentally friendly. Everything is made chemically free. The polyurethane is a Bonner polyurethane, which is a Swedish brand as well. It's all water-based. There's no chemicals in their manufacturing process. Everything is done extremely environmentally friendly. All the trees all come managed.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. I mean, is how environmentally friendly is it? I mean, to use, let's talk about the comparison. To use real wood, even with your polyurethane covering, over a synthetic product.
Oh, can't compare it. It's so much more environmentally friendly. We can keep growing trees. For every tree that Kiers cut down, they plant 3 more. So it's just a never-ending resource. It also is very good for the environment and the CO2, because it's all trapped into the tree. The other plastic products, they're all made out of plastic. They're made out of petroleum and chemicals, and they don't break down. They don't biodegrade. They're not that good for the environment at all.
Are you finding there's a switch in trend? I mean, I don't think everyone's ever really gone away from wooden floors, but at the same time, people have looked at at the, I suppose, the convenience of more synthetic products, maybe, or the fact they might be, I don't even know if they are cheaper. You'll be able to put, but so tell me two things therefore. One is, what's the trend at the moment towards wooden, and how much of a price difference does it make?
Well, there are some really, really reasonably priced timbers. So you can get, for a synthetic product, you can get a similar thing in a wood, but there are some very expensive timbers as well. There is a very large price range.
Yeah, no doubt. So what do you have to do before you install? Is there any special treatment for the floor?
It is for the substrate. We do need to make sure the substrate is level, that over a 3 metre span, it's level within 3 millimetres. And that really goes for any product. It puts too much pressure on the joints if you've got an uneven substrate. So we have the service of being able to do floor preparation, where we will grind off high spots or put leveling compound into low spots. And we can do that whole process for you. We can also take away your existing floor coverings like carpets or tiles, do all the floor prep, and then put all your brand new floor down for you.
I'm looking at the pictures, and it's such a smart product.
Yeah.
And it looks warm, I suppose, depending on what sort of color you choose. What about, though, and you just mentioned carpet. A lot of people put carpet down because of the warmth, the thermal abilities, but can you put underfloor heating under wood, or does that compromise the wood?
No, you can. No, our Kies flooring, they're made, designed and guaranteed to go on over underfloor heating. They're made for all the cold Scandinavian countries. There are some simple rules though. You can't let the floor get too hot, even under rugs and furniture. Can't be any hotter than 27 degrees. But no, yeah, definitely great for underfloor heating.
27 degrees. That's really quite hot. Sorry, you were saying, Andrea?
But wood doesn't get cold like tiles, for example, that get absolutely freezing. Wood, being a natural product, does have natural insulation properties. So it might get cool in the winter, but it doesn't get cold.
Is it hard to care for?
No, easy. Just vacuum it. Wash it once in a blue moon. That's what I do. I just vacuum my floor continuously. And then, yeah, honestly.
So any visitors to the Bothner household, that floor gets mopped once a month, okay? It's said it here on the Renovation and Outdoor Living show.
Yeah, and it gets spot clean if someone spills something. Easiest thing to clean if you spill something. It's not like carpet where you end up with this big stain.
Yeah.
It's not really a problem if guests spill their red wine, because you can just wipe it up. It's very easy.
Yeah, it's quite important to know though, because you make the investment to put it in, you want to know that it is going to be as easy to care for as any other surface, or easier to care for. And now the other thing which I did want to bring up, because when I was reading your notes, I thought this was really cool, and you stand by this, and this is that you offer this amazing guarantee on the installation, don't you?
Yeah, we stand behind all of the workmanship of all our men. Lifetime guarantee on the installation. Yeah,
very cool. Hey, Andrea, thank you so much for giving us some time today. Really cool to have a look at some of your product and learn a wee bit more about the purest, surely, of floor coverings. That is Andrea Bothnaby from the Wooden Floor Care Company. Good to see you. And I was just going to mention, Andrea's been very kind. They've given us a floor care package to give away. So this is the prize for the next week or so. And this is the package here, and it involves a spray mop kit, a floor care kit. There are 8 felt floor protectors, some small, some large. There's a litre of floor cleaner, and there's a 750 ml spray bottle cleaner, and an extra spray bottle for the spray mop. So everything you're going to need. And with Andrea doing her floors once a month, this would last her years. So anyway, if you want to win this, then the question is, Andrea just mentioned that the Wooden Floor Care Company deals specifically with X number of brands. How many brands did Andrea just mention? How many brands did she tell us about just then, about the various products? So now my hand went in the way. This is my new technology, because I'm trying to check your comments, and in order to do that, I've got to go up here, and so I'm not going to bother checking your comments. By the way, that floor package is valued at over $300, and it will keep your wooden floors in top condition. Although if you've had this company install them, they're guaranteed for a lifetime from the installation anyway. So now we're going to meet someone who's always thinking from the floor up, but in a big way. And when I say in a big way, I'm talking about renovations that start at $1 million. Big renovation projects. We haven't really talked about those on this show yet. Now, Nick Lico has 25 years experience as an architect, starting in New York City He's worked on large-scale projects, luxury hotels, apartments, and now he's in Wellington. And since he returned to Wellington in the early 2000s, he's worked with some of, well, Wellington's most notable buildings. His experience in both design and construction have made him a sought-after professional by repeat clients, builders, and consultants. He now runs a Refresh franchise. He owns a Refresh franchise in Wellington. His franchise, though, recently expanded to help other Refresh franchises. Hey, Nick, good to see you. I'm interested. I'm interested in the fact that you're helping other Refresh franchises. Is this from your architecture background?
That's correct. I spent the first half of my career, about approximately 20 years, working in commercial work, and then decided to make the transition to housing. 7 of those have been while we've been operating a Refresh renovation franchise, and so our architects practice has, in our view, evolved to really become a leading practice in terms of focusing on renovations. There isn't really, in our view, any architecture practices of significant scale that really focus primarily on renovating. And one of the advantages, I guess, from an architect's perspective that we've discovered, which we didn't expect, is that we've actually become, in Wellington, quite sought after, in particular for the largest of renovations that are available. We find that customers in that sector of the market particularly like the Refresh renovations process. The larger the jobs get, ultimately, the more money that's at risk. The process doesn't change from our other Refresh renovation projects, be those bathrooms. They just ultimately involve bigger financial risks. So
I was going to say more can go wrong, Nick. I mean, not more can go wrong, but the mistakes are going to potentially be far more costly, and of course, more can go wrong. So I can understand that, where your Refresh process is very systems based and step based.
Yes.
That removes so much of the danger. Tell me, when you're helping others in the renovation business, what sort of different challenges do they face when they're taking on large scale renovations?
Okay, one of the interesting statistics that I was aware of as an architect, even before I came on board with Refresh Renovations, is that the industry actually promotes that a 30% contingency, in other words, that 30% of your budget should actually just be put aside from day one for things that could actually go wrong during the project. We actually disagree with that quite strongly, both in our architects practice and both in our building franchise. And that's effectively what we believe comes out of very successful planning prior to the build. Some of the photos that I've given you, the project that I've presented you as an illustration, it really just shows just quite remarkably, it really is open heart surgery. I mean, this is a house you see here where we've completely lifted it off the ground. The other photo that you saw, if it's possible to bring that up, that shows the back of the house.
We're working on it. 3, 2, 1. There you go.
Yeah, this is actually the same house, and the very first image that you showed us is actually where we end up. And I think you've got a couple of photographs that show the completed interiors. I mean, that's a project that was actually 2 flats in Wellington, and $1 million, as we say, these projects that are $1 million plus, we certainly don't believe on the principle that the customer should be expected to put $300,000 aside prior to the build to just be spent at either the builder's or the designer's discretion.
Well, I would say that if you're asking somebody to put 300 grand aside, they're probably going to say, well, we're not going to do this project today, because I mean, it's unrealistic, isn't it? Unless you're taking the mickey. We like the wooden floors there, Nick. That's very smart, isn't it?
Thank you.
What are the key learnings you've picked up about the scale of project?
I think, to be honest, actually, we're very grateful we've had an opportunity to work in this sector. we often say in the practice, I think we sometimes entered some of these projects even ourselves with a certain level of naivety in terms of just how complicated they are. One of the learnings, for example, is generally they involve a complete makeover, not just of the home, but of the landscaping, the fencing, the driveways, and there has to be adequate planning done. As you can see in that photo there, we've completely removed any trees, we've removed the driveway, we've demolished an existing garage, and if we can hopefully see a photo of the finished product at the front of the house, we've completely manicured their
Wow.
It's not just actually focusing on the things that the architects traditionally focus on, which are the kitchens, bathrooms, interior finishes. It's the project is actually the entirety of the property right to the fence line. And that's an item we fall out on sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to say it is a bit of a game changer, isn't it? Does that mean that your customers are also more demanding, given that as the projects get bigger? Are they? I'm not going to say more difficult. They're not difficult, but the investment is so huge. So are they really, really tough to deal with sometimes?
It is proportional. We believe it's an equal playing field, and we're very proud of this. In fact, the customers that have selected us over other architects, which we were quite surprised about, is because of the design build model we offer as a complete solution via Refresh Renovations. And they, I can see that they react very well when they see we take the same care on our smaller projects, such as bathrooms. They ultimately realize that we care very much about budgets. And if we ultimately care about a $25,000 job, if we can show that we have the skill set at $1 million plus, we'll bring the same care to that $1 million project.
Yeah,
so the
absolutely.
I believe, are on an equal standing.
Yeah. Your biggest renovation?
The biggest one, it's been around about 1.3 million, which are complete house renovations in Wellington. To be quite frank again, we've been surprised, in fact, how much work over the past 7 years we get on an annual basis at that scale of the market. We do about 2 or 3 projects a year at that size, which isn't a lot in terms of the complete number of builds that we do annually, which includes bathroom, kitchens. But there is a demand for those projects. And if there's anything we're very confident about, it is that the design build model via Refresh Renovations is the best suited one for that end of the market. And that's why after 7 years of evolving the architecture practice, we're now starting to offer our architects expertise to the Refresh brand across the world. We are genuinely actually interested in doing these large builds globally.
Well, it's a good idea, isn't it? Because you may find that other franchise owners have been slightly wary about taking on these massive projects. But if they know that they can come to you with your experience, then then there's a solution for them. Nick, thanks for giving us some time. That's fantastic, and I really appreciate seeing you. We'll talk more about some of your other large scale projects later in the season, I hope. But there is Nick Lico from Refresh Renovations in Wellington. Good to see you. Now, I want to introduce you to a new feature, and it's going to be called, I haven't really thought of a name, so it's the top 10 of something, so I'm going to call it the Friday Top 10. And it's going to last, this feature, as long as I can find interesting top 10s to show you. So it may be 2 weeks, it may be 2 months, it may be 2 years. So this week, first ever, our inaugural top 10 is design fails. Okay, now, the top 10 design fails, which I went through, and number 10, well, I started outside and I decided, well, security, we were talking about this last week, security is important. So these guys have got it sorted. If we just bring up our first design fail, there you go. fantastic gate, bound to keep absolutely everyone out of that particular property. That's your design fail top 10. That's your number 10. Number 9, we move to the garage. How's about this for security? This surely going to stop anyone stealing your car, because they can't. And if you really want to be secure about your front door, well, do this. Just build it above floor level. Stops people breaking in, doesn't it? Why not incorporate this into the design? Absolutely brilliant. Now we move inside, and given today's theme from the ground up, don't you love the attention to detail these carpet tile installers have given? How mad would that drive you every single day walking past there? But I'd probably take the odd tiles over this choice, though. This is on some stairs. Now imagine taking on those. This is a flight of stairs. Who would choose this carpet? When it comes to design fails, after a few wines on a Friday night, this would be absolutely lethal. So take the lift instead. But best to avoid this lift for fear of never actually being able to figure out which floor you're on, or which the button is for that particular floor. Anyway, moving inside the apartment, I then found, and we're down to our top 4 now. In 4th place, I found this was a kitchen drawer design. I think the person who installed the lift must have designed this particular kitchen unit, and beggars belief how that could actually happen. Anyway, moving into the bathroom, we talk about bathrooms a lot. Maybe the same person who did that kitchen installed this bathroom, and having installed it, they suddenly worked out, well, where are we going to put the toilet roll holder? And of course, genius, there's the solution. Put it above the bath, where it's really easy to access from the toilet. Nothing inconvenient about that. Anyway, down to our last 2 design fails. Talking of toilets, some people describe them as thrones. This person took that a little bit too literally and decided to build this. If you look very carefully, this is on steps. I also don't really understand why there's a urinal and a toilet, and then 1 step down from there is a sink. It has got to be one of the most bizarre bathrooms I've ever seen, all with a shower curtain in front of it, despite the fact there is actually another separate shower. So anyway, and our number 1 design fail for my top 10 for Friday today. Well, it comes back to something we talk about so much on the show. Before you start, you must plan, you must plan, you must plan. All this is maybe what happens. You install the toilet, and then you're going, oh, it can't open the door. Hey, but they've been ingenious, haven't they? Nothing which a little hacksaw or a jigsaw can just remove a little slice of the door, and then you're absolutely fine. There you go. That was my inaugural Friday top 10 design fails today. Now, do remember to enter the competition to win that floor care package, and we will see you all again on Tuesday. Good to see you. Bye-bye.